Quick disclaimer, this video is going to be dealing with sensitive subjects that involve the 4-letter R word that you can't say on YouTube, so if these subjects trigger you in any way, just beware moving forward with this video. So this is a big story that required an insane amount of research, so I'm just going to jump right into it. David Dobrik's Vlog Squad has been caught up in the biggest YouTube scandal since the only thing anyone would talk about was the YouTube beauty community. If you haven't heard of the Vlog Squad, it's basically just a group of YouTube influencers that frequently appear in each other's content in order to maintain mutual relevancy. So I appear in your videos, you appear in my videos, we both get a little bit of followers from either side, and we end up staying famous for longer. People come and go all the time, but the one fixed piece is the leader, David Dobrik. And over the course of about 2 weeks, he's gone from one of the most beloved creators on the platform by viewers, the community, and YouTube themselves to being completely devoid of a career in its entirety. I'm going to be breaking this video into 5 sections in order to keep track of which part of the story we're discussing at any given time. And like last time, we're covering a sensitive subject, so I'm going to ask you to play a game with me. Drop a like on the video right now, and if I don't completely piss you off by the end of it, I get to keep it. If I get something wrong, or I do piss you off, feel free to take it back or even switch it to a dislike. We've got a very open refund policy here at the Handstand channel. Anyway, with that out of the way, let's jump into this. So this all started with former Vlog Squad members going onto the H3 podcast hosted by Ethan Klein in order to air their dirty laundry about the group. Notably, Nick Kiswani, even though he had a lot of good things to say about David himself, said that the group was cult-like and that he was frequently bullied for his size or forced to participate in videos that made fun of his size, leading to others thinking that that was okay. But things turned up to 10 when a former member by the name of Seth Francois went onto the H3 podcast with his own allegations. First, he detailed how David made him participate in racist skits and vlogs that made him feel uncomfortable and ultimately demeaned his entire race. But by far his biggest allegation was that of sexual assault. Basically, in a video in 2017, he was asked if he would be okay with kissing other Vlog Squad member Karina Kopf. Seth agreed at the time, being fairly new to the Vlog Squad, probably wanting to help David with his content, and to be honest, probably being open to kissing Karina Kopf. The whole idea is that she's going to be in a gorilla mask, and that's somehow funny. But the real plan was actually that David replaced Karina in the gorilla mask with a 45-year-old man by the name of Jason Nash. They make out for an uncomfortably long time, and then it's revealed that Karina's standing right there. She's not the one in the mask. As it usually goes with YouTube pranks, a lot of people at the time were calling this out as fake. David and Jason's comments under the video say otherwise. David saying, "For the people saying this is fake, are you out of your mind?" Jason saying, "Congrats to Seth on his vlog initiation, funny guy and great dude. Welcome." So it's pretty clear this was a genuine switch-up. They actually did end up getting him to kiss a 45-year-old man without his consent. A BuzzFeed News article detailed Seth's story. Obviously, it states that he didn't give his consent for this kiss. Francois said he never gave consent to the kiss with Nash, and at the time he said he wasn't sure about how he felt about it, just that it felt wrong. He goes on to say that this was weighing on him so much he ended up calling a sexual assault hotline. It reads, "They said it directly to me, they said. I'm sorry you were sexually assaulted. And I broke down. I called my mother and some of my close friends and I said, I can't believe that happened to me." Some people have tried to downplay the severity of the situation, but you just gotta think of it like this. What if that was a young girl trying to make her career out in LA and she was tricked into kissing a 45-year-old man against her will? I shouldn't have to make that comparison for you to understand why there's something wrong with this, but unfortunately the double standard does exist. Anyway, it's not the only time it happened. In 2018, David was pressuring Seth to make another one of these videos, but he said no. David ended up putting this elaborate scheme together where he would make a fake beef jerky commercial and get Seth to make out with a gorilla, which again turned out to be Jason Nash. This ended up leading to Seth moving out of LA, which is extremely sad. The beef jerky brand in the video actually had to come forward and clarify they had no part in this because they were not very happy with it themselves, tweeting, "This was not a paid or sponsored partnership with our brand, and we do not tolerate or condone any non-consensual conduct such as what happened in this video." So before coming forward publicly with this, Seth claims that he did try to handle it privately. Unfortunately, David never responded, and now Seth is saying he's considering legal action because it's his only way of getting any kind of justice for this situation. Sadly, this is typical for David, as his MO has been to ignore controversy entirely. People claim that Seth betrayed the Vlog Squad by coming forward with these allegations, but obviously Seth doesn't see it from that perspective. He says, no, David betrayed me by ever putting me in these situations. Which I have to agree with. So a few days after this all blows up, a current member of the Vlog Squad by the name of Scotty Sire came forward with a video defending the Vlog Squad. So in this video, Scotty shares a clip of David asking Seth for his consent for the second kissing prank.
Seth accused David and Jason of sexual assault for a kissing prank that was done in 2017, which is so fucked up because he was part of the videos, he knows what we do, and then after the prank was finished, David asked him,
"Do I have permission to try to prank you again and get you to make out with Jason?"
I'm very confused by that, because how the hell could you be so confident to tell me that I have to consent to something that I'm not going to know that I'm going to do?
But there's kind of a big problem with this because the video doesn't actually show Seth giving his consent. In defense of this, Scotty basically said, "No, don't worry, I saw it. You just gotta trust me. David used to edit his videos at my house."
David films hours and hours of footage and crams them into 4 minutes and 20 seconds for his vlog, so this clip was cut short. This is from a period of time when David was always at my house editing, and I very vividly remember when he was editing that clip, there was a clip in there of Seth agreeing and giving his permission to film this bit again. He was like, "There's no way you're gonna get it on me again. There's no way you're gonna get me again, so go ahead, go for it."
People took issue with this for many reasons. Obviously because the clip of him giving his consent is never actually shown, but also because even if he did give his consent, the power differential between the cult leader David Dobrik and the rest of the Vlog Squad members is so vast that he may have felt like he had to say yes in order to keep being involved in the group. And Seth has said as such in various interviews regarding the situation. In this video, Scotty also shares a clip from David Dobrik where he claims that Seth actually was requesting to do a third kissing prank.
Seth literally requested to do it a third time.
Guys, this is a text from Seth from about 2 years ago. He goes, "Yo, bro, I was thinking about it. I'm down for another kissing sketch." I said, "Haha, what do you mean?" He goes, "Lol, I don't really care as long as you clout me up. I'm not gay, just don't care." And then he sends me this.
I mean, yeah. I don't know. It's not really a big deal. It's the same shit. Just, I don't know. More open-minded.
Some people immediately took this as clear evidence that Seth is lying. Others taking the idea of, well, no, it's already been done to him twice, so at this point he's just been beaten down. In this video, there's an audio clip where he claims to be more open-minded, which insinuates that he was not okay with the other 2 times that this happened, or at least definitely not the first one, which he wasn't in on. Again, backed up by David and Jason's comments from earlier. Then at a certain point, Scotty starts going on the attack, and he claims that Seth actually shared revenge porn of another Vlog Squad member by the name of Aaron Guilfoyle. I couldn't actually figure out what this was referring to, but theories are suggesting that it was a series of videos Seth posted back in June 2020 called Accountability. These are basically just a montage of Vlog Squad members doing offensive things on camera. At no point in these videos is Aaron Guilfoyle ever displayed naked. So Seth obviously denied that he ever posted revenge porn of Aaron Guilfoyle on a channel called Spillsesh. Obviously, I was still confused as to where this accusation even came from, so I actually tracked down the supposed revenge porn video, and the only reference ever made to it in those accountability videos is a 3-second audio clip of her saying the N-word with no video to go along with it. Seth also claimed that the video was already available online when he decided to share the audio. This actually checks out because in her response to it surfacing, she claims that she was being blackmailed a 1.5 years prior to this ever happening. When Scotty's video first got posted, Philip DeFranco, well-known YouTube news person, reached out to Seth for a statement on it. He says, "Hi Phil, the audio clip and text that is surfacing the internet is a manipulation to misinterpret my trauma and experiences. This audio further concludes I did not consent to those published videos. I have not promoted nudity, but only highlighted a peer confidently saying the slanderous derogatory term N-word." Seth claims that this was manipulated, and he says that the audio is conclusive proof that he did not consent to those already published videos. At this point, still no response from David. Alright, so this is where everything gets a whole lot worse, and to be honest, they kind of forget about everything that's happened up until this point. Insider dropped a gigantic article reporting that a girl was allegedly during a David Dobrik vlog posted back in 2018. The article's blocked behind a paywall, and a lot of people took issue with this because if you think there's a genuine predator on the loose, why would you have that blocked behind any kind of monetary block? Like, I had to pay money just so I could get into that article for screenshots for this video. It's ridiculous. Anyway, it details a video from 2018 where David Dobrik fostered an environment that led to the alleged. The article refers to the victim by the name of Hannah because she wants to remain anonymous, and so out of respect to her, I will also be referring to her as Hannah for the remainder of this video. So the video is now deleted from YouTube, but I obviously found it because that's how the internet works. Everything is accessible always. In the video that had 5 million views at the time of being taken down, a Vlog Squad member by the name of Dirty Dom claims that he invited these girls over in order to have a fivesome. The video is really short and it's only like halfway through it even gets to this point. Like, I didn't realize David Dobrik's vlogs were so all over the place, but due to it being so short, it's kind of hard to tell how fucked up the situation was from the video alone. According to the article, as soon as she walked in the door, Hannah said someone shoved a camera in her face. She has one line of dialogue in the video. As she and her friends sit down on the couch, Hannah is heard saying she doesn't actually know who anyone in the Vlog Squad is.
I have to let you guys know, I don't really know any of you, just so you know.
Get the fuck out of here! Get her out!
From the girls' perspective, they never had any intention of coming over to have a fivesome with Dirty Dom. Hannah and her friend Sarah, who drove everyone to the apartment, told Insider they never intended to have group sex with Dom that night. A hesitance reflected in the vlog. In his voiceover, Dobrik says,
"After a couple minutes of talking, it was clear there was no fivesome happening tonight.
You called it. Yeah.
But by some stroke of luck and master negotiating, Dom made progress."
It's a really creepy scenario where the Vlog Squad is clearly using the power dynamic of being famous influencers to their advantage. It was very much an environment where it felt like saying no was not okay, Hannah said. It felt like from the moment we came, there was an expectation that they were doing us a favor and we had to give them content. They were verbally like, "Why aren't you guys being fun? Do something sort of sexy." According to the article, at one point Dom led Hannah away from the group in order to talk to her privately. Hannah says Dom guided her in through the door, and she said she quickly turned around and told him that she wanted to go back to where her friends were. But Dom blocked the exit with his body and started asking her why she didn't like him and wouldn't date him. Hannah said Dom asked if they could hook up. She replied no, she told Insider. Then he goes ahead and traps her in a situation where she is forced to kiss him. He was like, "No, you at least have to give me a kiss," Hannah said. "I was getting really scared because he wasn't letting me leave. My friends were in a totally different part of the house. I was like, what happens if I keep saying no? So I just gave him a kiss." When they come back out of the room, it was reported that one of the Vlog Squad members had returned with a bottle of liquor. Keep in mind that these girls are 20 years old at the time, which isn't a problem for us Canadians, but in the US, that is under the legal drinking age. The article goes on to read, "At this point, I can't really remember much," Hannah said. "I just remember being really uncomfortable and being honestly really upset and angry that my friends thought these guys were really cool, and they're just really objectifying and gross." Then, after already trying once and being rejected, Dom tried to get Hannah to come to her room again. Hannah said she drank so much alcohol the night she filmed with the Vlog Squad that she blacked out. Sarah told Insider that Hannah wanted to go to Dom's room with Dom and their friend Audrey. Although Sarah said she could tell that Hannah was drunk, she was comfortable with letting her go into the room because Hannah wouldn't be alone with Dom. Then to make the whole thing creepier, and this stuff is in the video, but the Vlog Squad starts looking into the room. Once Hannah and Audrey were in the room with Dom, Sarah said the other members of the Vlog Squad started trying to listen in. Some of them even opened the door to look at what was happening. Sarah said, in retrospect, Sarah thought it was disgusting that people were watching. And this is actually shown in the video. When it was all over, Audrey and Dom leave the room, but not Hannah. Sarah said that Dom and Audrey came out of the room first, and that Sarah went in after them to find Hannah lying limp on the bed. Sarah said she was immediately concerned and that she remembered Hannah tugging on her ear and asking where her earring was. As for what happened in the room, according to Audrey, Hannah was so drunk she had to step in to get Dom off of her. Hannah said she does not remember having sex with Dom, and that Audrey told her Dom performed sexual acts on her that were penetrative. Specifically, Hannah said Audrey told her that Dom was having sex with Hannah and didn't stop as Hannah showed signs of losing consciousness, so Audrey took over to get Dom to stop. Audrey declined to comment, but in a text she sent to Hannah this month about their night with Dom, she wrote, "I remembered you were starting to close your eyes and just were obviously drunk, so I finished him off just to get him away from you." The video goes on to show Dom celebrating having raped this girl and asking people to smell his finger.
Yo, smell my finger.
No. I'll give you $20.
25?
Deal.
The video ends with David and the Vlog Squad getting into a vehicle and then joking that they're all going to jail. Not a good look.
Dom just had a threesome, and I think we're all
Going to jail. Oh man.
I think we're all going to jail.
All right.
The same day that this Insider article dropped, David finally released what some might consider to be an apology. It was titled, "Let's Talk," and it was posted to David's least trafficked channel. Also, the likes and comments were disabled, so no one's really talking but him. He apologizes to Seth by saying he missed the mark.
the Seth situation, I'm sorry to Seth, because like I said, I would just want to make videos where everybody in it, you know, whether you're participating or watching, is enjoying and having a good time. And I missed the mark with that one.
Then he only sort of references the rape allegation by saying he distanced himself from Dom.
And with people in my life that I don't film with anymore, like Dom and, you know, the other people that I no longer film with, I chose to distance myself. And I've been really disappointed by some of my friends. And for that reason, I've separated from a lot of them.
This was received as probably one of the worst apology videos in the history of YouTube. It's way too short, uses nothing but legal protective language, was posted to his smallest channel so the least amount of people would see it, and as I said, the likes and comments were disabled, so no one could have input. One of the key things people have referenced in this terrible apology is where he says he distanced himself from Dom. This is where the timeline gets a lot more complicated, because keep in mind this video came out in 2018, but I'm going to take you on a quick trip back to 2017 before we continue. So, 2017, a Twitter user by the name of Elijah Daniel calls out Dirty Dom for being a creep. I'm not entirely sure what prompted this. I think it had something to do with news of what went on at the VidCon of that year, but he tweets this. Crazy when a boy who jokes about fucking underage girls all the time is also a creep IRL too. But haha, it's just his brand, right? He's daddy. Dom must have responded to this because then he tweets, "The fact you knew it was about you says a lot." People started DMing Elijah Daniel more stories, and he followed up with this tweet. "When one creepy story comes out, they all do, huh fam?" With a picture that says, "Let me start off with I'm 15 and I snuck into that party. Who cares though, it was lit. Okay, so I was on the dance floor and such, and Dom, the one you indicated, filmed me dancing earlier in the day. Later on though, he came back and told me to do something sexy for the camera. I am 15 for starters, but also he filmed my ass dancing." The tweet's now deleted, so I ended up finding this somewhere else, but Dom responded with, "The party was 18 plus, the girl snuck in, don't fool yourself." To which Elijah responded, "Cool, you still physically touched and grabbed my other friends though. Where's your excuse for that? Oh right, it's alcohol. All good then, bruh." Then another harassment story comes out and he tweets, "Okay, the amount of YouTubers texting and DMing me their creepy Dom stories, LMFAO, for sure just a one-time occurrence though." With a picture that says, "Lamau, Dom came up to me at the Studio 7 warm party because I had a low-cut dress on, and kept talking about my boobs and then I needed to show them to get through. When I started walking away, he said he'd find me later, and I was literally on high alert all night because he made me so uncomfortable." And that was about it. Just kidding, there's more. "Bro, have you literally harassed every female YouTuber in LA? Holy fucking shit, this is so sad, you're so fucking gross." With a picture that says, "The fact that you are dragging Dirty Dom, kid's a fucking creep, definitely has creeped me the fuck out at a party to the point I left. Trying to film me like making out with my friends, which I was like, no lol, and trying to pour liquor down my mouth and shirt, and I'm like, don't film me lol, I'm not trying to be sexualized and look like a fucking wild bitch when I have 11-year-olds following me. Like grabbing my ass and shit, to which at the time I didn't take as sexual assault because I hadn't really learned what it meant yet, and I didn't want to make a scene." So yeah, it was pretty bad. This wasn't like one person calling him out, this was a lot of people coming forward with their individual stories about Dirty Dom. Hashtag Dom is over party started trending on Twitter, and then a YouTuber by the name of Ali Hardesty dropped an exposed video telling her story. In this video, she details a story where she met Dom for the first time, and in the process of this, he held her down at a party, grabbed her boobs without her consent, and then forcibly kissed her while she was trying to pull away. And remember, this is all 2017, so this is not new information. Dom is well known to be a creep years and years ago. Around this same time, a member of the David Dobrik fan club came forward with screenshots of a text conversation that David had been having with his fans in reference to the story. Her tweet said this: "This is what David said about the Dom thing. He said he's done with those jokes because it's too close to reality, sadly. Looking in on those DMs, David said things like, I can't talk about it yet because I haven't been paying close enough attention to it. I've read all of it, but guys, I don't know what Dom does when he's not around me, lol. I can't control him. Yeah, I mean, we are obviously done with those jokes. Didn't know they were so close to reality." A couple days after this, Dom released a video on his channel called My Apology. He does kind of a general apology to everyone without referencing anyone specific, and then he apologizes to his friends for bringing negative energy into their videos.
First off, I want to apologize to any guy or girl that I've personally disrespected myself. Second off, I want to apologize to my roommates and friends that I create videos with for bringing negative, bad energy into our videos and what we do.
He addresses the situation with the 15-year-old and completely misses the point and says he should have asked permission.
There was a 15-year-old girl that I filmed having fun at a party. It was an 18+ event, But regardless of her age, what I did was wrong because I didn't ask her permission to be in my content.
But he doesn't address the fact that he was objectifying this stranger regardless of their age. I have no way to personally get this verified, but according to Keemstar, a Vlog Squad member actually told him that David was the one who told Dom he needed to make a response video. So obviously, David has known about Dom being a creep for a very long time prior to any of this other stuff ever happening. Fast forward back to the present, and just to recap, this is what David said about Dom in his apology.
I've been really disappointed by some of my friends, and for that reason, I've separated from a lot of them.
But as we just discussed, he's known about Dom being a creep since long before this ever took place. And shortly after this response video, his career started to collapse. He was dropped by DoorDash, EA Sports, Dollar Shave Club, HelloFresh, and more. Apparently, he was also the owner of a women's soccer team, and not anymore. He was also in the process of creating his own social media app called Dispo, which had a $200 million valuation prior to all this. But with all this coming out, a lot of their funding was pulled, and David actually stepped down from the board of directors. So it's pretty clear that not a single person from the mainstream or the internet were happy with his absolutely trash response to this situation. But when you ignore every single controversy that's ever passed under your nose, I'm not surprised your first response is a complete pile of dog crap. Moving on to the next part, there's an overlooked detail from the article that blew the absolute shit out of the water. So if you remember from the article, at some point there was liquor involved in this situation involving a bunch of underage girls. Underage drinking? Not good. Particularly on camera when purchased by an adult? Definitely not good. So the question was raised, who bought the alcohol? The article had this to say. Trisha Paytas told Insider that Vlog Squad member Jeff Wittek went to go buy liquor for the party after she told Jason Nash, her boyfriend at the time, not to. Paytas said she and Nash left before Wittek got back. This is Jeff Wittek. In response to the accusation, he had this to say. In a phone call with Insider, Wittek denied buying the alcohol and said he didn't think Smith would have bought it either, though he said Smith loves whiskey. This is referring to another Vlog Squad member by the name of Todd Smith. Anyway, Jeff wasn't happy with this quote. The one single quote he has in the entire article. So he released a 21-minute video about it, and then promptly deleted it when everyone called him out on his bullshit. In this video, he expresses his sympathy for the victims and says he's not trying to disparage anyone's story or downplay the situation. He's just trying to clear his own name. In the video, he claims that he was completely unaware of any of the sexual assault allegations until being contacted for this interview. As he moves forward, he begins talking about how he's losing brand deals for being mentioned in the article. Then he slams the reporter for not doing her research, manipulating what he said, and accuses her of doing this for money since the article was behind a paywall. Which doesn't make sense because she is a reporter. Insider are the ones that choose that. So, anyway, he also says that the witness isn't credible because it's Trisha Paytas, which in any other situation would be an okay argument, but in this case, the article's very clear that there are multiple witnesses. Hannah's friend Sarah, who said she didn't drink that night because she was driving, told Insider she remembers Todd Smith asking the group what kind of alcohol people wanted. Sarah said she also remembers Smith and Wittek coming back to the apartment with Smith holding a bottle of Jack Daniel's whiskey. Sarah shared a photo with Insider of Dom sitting with Hannah and her friends alongside a bottle of Jack Daniel's and a 2-liter bottle of Pepsi. He goes on to play a clip of him speaking with the reporter after the fact where he asks her if she feels bad for what she did to him. Kind of a pathetic display, but then she pulled an Uno reverse card and she posted the original recording of their first interview to Twitter where she very clearly mentions that there were other witnesses besides Trisha Paytas. A few notes from me addressing Jeff Wittek's video. Here's our initial conversation about who bought the whiskey. Jeff chose to leave out the fact that Sarah, one of the women there, remembered him and Todd coming back with the whiskey. So Jeff's main gripe with this article was the fact that he claims the quote about Smith loves whiskey was taken from a distant part of their conversation to manipulate. Her audio recording also proved that wrong.
I know Todd was there because like he's in the video and everything. Do you think it's possible that like Todd was the one who bought the alcohol?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I know Todd drinks himself, and Todd drinks whiskey.
Then she also posted that in that second conversation, she only apologized to him in reference to the fact that he's being called a rapist and a pedophile, not for doing her job and including him in the article. The other thing I will say about this clip, which is really bothering people, before Jeff asked me if I was sorry, he told me people were calling him a rapist and pedophile. I was apologizing because he had to experience that. Following it with this, I would actually love for Jeff to release this entire conversation which he recorded late at night for me without my consent. He used a lot of manipulation tactics to try and get me to say things knowing he would use them against me. At this point, you would think he's been completely shut down. But surprisingly, no, he actually still had a pretty good like to dislike ratio on his video, suggesting that his core fan base at least was still on his side. Then he did the dumbest thing anyone can do by going live on a YouTube podcast in order to defend himself. Why do people go live when they try to defend themselves? It never makes things better, ever. Just ask Shane Dawson. Anyway, the podcast in question was the Trisha Paytas and Ethan Klein Frenemies podcast. This is where the original accusations were being aired way back at the beginning of this whole thing, so it made sense for him to go there. What doesn't make sense is that he had absolutely no idea what the hell he was getting himself into. They got him to admit he didn't read the full article. They also catch him in a lie where he says he left after 45 minutes, to which they bring out photo evidence showing that no, he did not. Then he backpedals and said he left and then came back. The entire interview is kinda pathetic, and he just dug himself a grave so deep he can't crawl out. Which brings us to David's second apology. Okay, so I just realized I forgot to turn on my lamp for the entire last section I recorded, but I'm not re-recording it. So with Jeff taking the spotlight for a few days, David was probably running around behind the scenes like a chicken with its head cut off, trying to find a way to stop losing sponsors. General Mills, HBO Max, Facebook, Audible, Bumble, Frank's Red Hot, Honey, SeatGeek, and more have completely dropped him. Then finally, he decided to turn off his corporate programming module and spoke to the world as a real human. He drops a second apology video, which was 1,000 times better than the first one. For starters, he acknowledges that the first video is a steaming pile of crap. He also says that for the past week, he's had a lot of people telling him what to do or what to say, but he's got rid of those people, and now he's just here to speak on behalf of himself.
1:45 in the morning, and I'm finally by myself. This week's been pretty hectic, and there have been a lot of people telling me what to do, giving me advice, trying to help me. Most importantly, and now I just want to be able to do this and just shoot straight into the camera and just talk to you guys. I've put myself in a lot of situations where I've needed to apologize for my past actions, and I've never done this correctly, and my last video is a testament to that. I don't want to defend that video. I don't want to delete that video. I just want to be clear.
He's straightforward about not wanting to discredit the accuser or anything that people have been saying, addressing Trisha Paytas by name. He says regardless of consent, the video that was filmed the night the rape happened never should have been shared, and that the situation never should have occurred in the first place. He addresses the uneven power dynamic that he holds and says that he wasn't aware of how this affected people at the time. Then finally, he addresses the relationship he has with Dom and says that it was hard for him to see these things because he was blinded by the fact that they were childhood friends. And then he reiterates that he distanced himself from Dom in 2019.
I also want to acknowledge the women that spoke out against Dom in 2018. I'm talking about Allie, and then I'm talking about other girls that addressed their problems privately or publicly. I couldn't wrap my head around a childhood friend of mine doing this to people and actually hurting people, and I'm sorry for that. Not only did I discredit you, Allie, but I platformed Dom. And not only did I platform Dom, but I platformed the subject of sex in a negative way, where I made jokes about it, and I reinforced that kind of behavior. I made the decision to no longer film with Dom in 2019, and I'm not saying my content has been brilliant since then, but that's when I first started taking into account the power dynamic and what influence I had on people that I was filming with.
This is where people began to take issue with what he was saying, because David actually appeared in a video on Dom's channel as recently as March 2020. If you try to find the video, you can't. It's been deleted, and it was reported that this happened within 24 hours of David Dobrik's apology video going up, so do with that as you will. The apology goes on to say that even though he shifted his content to be more positive in 2019, he never actually apologized to these women. He also addresses his past offensive content, which goes all the way back to how this all began with Seth Francois' allegations. He apologizes for referring to them as bad jokes, and says it was never right to have made this content in the first place. Then he actually addresses his fans, particularly the ones telling him to fight back against cancel culture, saying, "No, this is wrong and I need to change." Finally, he tells everyone that he's going to be taking a break from social media, and when he comes back, he wants to be making positive content that everybody can enjoy. As far as how this video was received, I can pretty much sum it up as too little too late. Many people were really happy to see him genuinely owning up to what happened. Others were pretty convinced that the only reason he did this was because he was starting to lose his brands left, right, and center. I couldn't tell you what the answer is because I'm not in David Dobrik's mind, but from my perspective, the apology did seem genuine. Particularly the fact that he got rid of his lawyers and PR team and is just speaking for himself gives me a good feeling. So Nick Keswani, the first person we actually mentioned today, posted this on Twitter. I want to publicly thank @David Dobrik for calling me today and apologizing. I believe his apology video is sincere. I've learned in life not to hold grudges, and I wish him the best along with the rest of the squad. So at least there's one happy ending here so far. Regardless, at this point, David lost his sponsorships, his brand deals, his soccer team, his social media company, and his position as YouTube's golden boy. In fact, 4 days later, YouTube demonetized David Dobrik's channels entirely, leaving him with absolutely nothing left. And that is the story of how YouTube titan David Dobrik lost everything in a matter of 2 weeks. Then Gabby Hanna tweeted that she was going to get into some legal trouble, which people speculated had something to do with the Vlog Squad, and at this point, it's just too much and I do not care. If whatever she said ends up being interesting, maybe I'll cover it, but at this point, it is so much information and she missed the train. Alright, thank you so much for watching. If you managed to make it through the entire video, I love you. Like, truly love you. I'm talking, you're going to see me pull up next Valentine's Day with some flowers. That's a promise. Anyway, thank you all so much for the support on my last video about the super straight movement. It's been doing exceptionally well, so if you haven't checked it out, definitely go and do that after this. Drop a like if you enjoyed the video. It helps me out more than you could ever know in the YouTube algorithm. Make sure to subscribe down below because the sub count is gaining speed fast and there's only so many people who get to say they knew me before I blew up. Let me know in the comments if you have any ideas for future videos. I really appreciate it. It's hard to come up with ideas. And I think that's about it. Stay sexy, you heinous motherfucker. Okay, so I just finished recording and it turns out that the Gabby Hanna stuff was actually about the Vlog Squad, but it's like bullying allegations as far as I can tell, so it pales in comparison to the rest of the stuff. I'm probably not going to cover it. See ya!